What is going on, everybody? It's Alex back here in another video, and today we are wrapping up this mock draft. We're round 3 of 3. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. I appreciate you guys for continuing to support the channel, and thank you guys. We just reached 2,500 last night, which is a huge milestone. It might not sound like a lot to some of you guys who don't have your own channels, but it's been a crazy amount of growth too. So it's been over a year in development here since we started just about April of 2020. So it's been about a year, let's just say close to about 7 months. And, that's absolutely insane. And it's all thanks to you guys. You guys will continue to teach me and doing all that stuff. So thank you guys for being absolutely awesome and making sure that this dream can come true for me. Now we're going to go towards that 5K mark. I'm very excited for that. But without further ado, let's kick off the video. Number 65, we got the Green Bay Packers. We have decided to go with a wide receiver. I think that we went a true number 1 for them. So, yeah, George Pickens out of Georgia, having a little bit of athleticism, craziness right there. That could be – we could still go back to that train. Honestly, Wan'Dale Robinson's still on the board. And, by the way, that guy's tearing it up. John Mechie as well. However, I think with with Preston Smith trying to leave, getting an edge is now more important than ever. And Nik Bonitto is worth a first-round pick. Yeah, I mean, I have him worth number 1 for me. So getting Nik Bonitto here at the beginning of third, yes, sir. So Nik Bonitto, send him in. It's been a minute since I've loaded this guy up, so apologies about the delay. But at number 66 with the Texans, I think the best route to go would either be Wan'Dale Robinson or going after a guy like Roger McCreary. Defense, like especially with corner depth, it might be the right move, especially with how saturated the wide receiver market is. Wan'Dale Robinson's an absolute stud. So pick whichever one you want. I'm going to go after Roger McCreary. This is probably going to be a heavy cornerback round just because I think that there's a lot of guys who are like mid to end day 2, and then probably a pretty big drop off after that. It's not a bad DB class. Like, it's a pretty good DB class. 67 with the Giants. Now, some of y'all are trying to tell me that you guys, when it says edge, you guys were looking for a 3-4 edge. I brought up Azeez Ojulari, and you guys said he's a linebacker. Yes, 3-4 outside linebacker is an edge. So just to clarify that up for y'all, we got a 3-4 defensive end, which is the perfect fit. And if you want to use, you never go like fully a 3-4 or 4-3. It's always hybrid packages. So he works perfectly with that as well. Regardless, sitting here for the Giants, I think the right way to go would be probably looking at a tight end. I want to see who we actually got because we got a linebacker and interior offensive line. Just a quick little refresher here. We decided to go Brandon Smith, and I assume, yeah, we've definitely gone with our right tackle here, Darian Kinnard to Marvin Leal. So the right move would be to go tight end. This guy is worth this pick. Greg Dulcich out of UCLA. I don't know why he's ranked down here. He is worth a 3rd-round pick, 100%. And I really like his abilities. We could go after Breece Hall here. That might be a better value. But looking at it, I don't see a bunch of teams taking running backs versus one tight end who's left. Okay, quick break right there. Regardless, I think that the best option here would be a guy like Greg Dulcich. He is worth a 3rd-round grade in my book. We've already solidified our inside linebacker spot as well as an edge rusher and a right tackle spot. To me, that's really, really worth it. So, we could get another guy in Breece Hall or Zach Charbonnet. I don't think we need to just yet. There is another 3rd-round pick. So we're going to Greg Dulcich here out of UCLA, be able to secure another great receiving weapon. There's some really good tight ends in this class. I'm projecting Jaleel Billingsley to return. So if you guys are wondering why he's not taken, that's why. Number 68 with Washington. I think that going into your offensive line wouldn't be a terrible idea here. We could look at someone like Lakeisha Smith. I think he would be a good addition to this team. You've already dipped at LSU with Sadiq Charles, so Ed Ingram wouldn't be terrible. Safety still is somebody I would go after. I know Lewis Sign's not a true free, but, I mean, he could be worth taking. I'm trying to see if he does have the ability to be in a single high zone. I just don't really think so. So that is very unfortunate, especially since I really wanted to get him for this lineup. But we still could look after somebody who could be on the slot corner realm. I just don't see it. I really don't. Mikael Wright is worth it. I think we could trade back here. I think we should. There are teams that probably want to move up for a Mikal Wright, like a true cornerback that's on the boundary. And even Jermaine Waller, a really good boundary corner for VT. I think that a team like the 49ers, who have not gotten an actual boundary corner, pretty sure that we got them Daxton Hill. So, yeah, getting a true boundary corner here, giving up a little bit of capital just to move up is not too shabby to me. So, we can toss in one of our sevens here, maybe our early seventh, and then we could test a next year seven as well. Just giving a little bit of value to move up a little bit, nothing too shabby. And with that, we're going to select, I'm pretty sure Mikal Wright could be the right dude. Just making sure he could fit. He has the athleticism. He's a little bit lighter. Take Jermaine Waller if you want to. I think Mikal Wright is a really good corner too. I just don't get why people are hating on him that much. He gets picked on, sure, but he's really tight in coverage. So if you like how Tyson Campbell was last year, like he got picked on a lot, but he was always there in coverage. Mikal Wright could be very similar. 69 with the Jets. I think that this could be a really good spot for a running back or an edge player. So for me, David Ojabo is a beast. He's been lighting it up. Zion Tuapoloa-Fatui as well. I honestly like the potential of a guy like Zion here. And I love this. I like the running back class too. So we're going to go Zion Tuapoloa-Fatui, edge out of Washington. He has first round level talent if he stays healthy and if he's able to continue getting that rotation. This is a perfect squad for him to be able to sit a year and get more healthy. So cheers to Zion Tuapoloa-Fatui. Next with the Jaguars, another team that could really use some edge help. And that could be at the outside linebacker spot or on the interior. The more I even talk about it, I think that either spot could be worth it. And, Ebiketie is really damn good. Same thing with David Ojabo. I like him. He's been getting quite a few strip sacks lately. So I think that the hype is real. We're going to get David Ojabo out of Michigan here. Just Michigan edges. I don't know what they're doing there at Michigan. They're doing a very good job, though. 71 with the Eagles. I think, do we have any other number one wide receivers on the board? We do have a big guy in Jalen Tolbert here. I do like Jalen Tolbert. Maybe he's not going to be your exact number one boundary receiver guy. That's where you get Justin Ross in here. I think we could trade back and get a Justin Ross or trade back up and get one. But still, we're sitting here. To be honest, I think that you could just go after one. We could just go after Justin Ross here. I think that it is worth it. He's a boundary wide receiver, and I don't think that he's been playing pretty well. Like, he's not terrible at all. I don't get why there's this much hate on him. He was supposed to be a top 15 player in the 2021 NFL draft. Now, all of a sudden, because of this spinal contusion that he's come back from, he is automatically kicked into like the 5th round, which I think is complete BS. So take a shot on Justin Ross. I feel like it's going to be like you guys missed on the last time someone had like a neck/spinal injury. Obviously, I'm not going to mention DK Metcalf, but you guys might have a little PTSD from that. We all know that Howie is probably going to try to draft some offense, and Justin Ross is the perfect guy to do it. He's worth taking a shot on, guys. This is a top 15 prospect over a year ago. So see what it's like, see how he does. Back with the Giants, this is going to be a running back, and this is going to be a 3-down running back, Breece Hall out of Iowa State. I just really like the fit. You guys might be getting annoyed with it, but I just think it's the right fit. Breece Hall deserves to be in the 2nd round, to be fair, but he's here. So take him and enjoy him. 73 with the Bears. We could look at offensive line here as well, but I'm actually going to give some respect right here to John Mechie. Wan'Dale Robinson's much better than John Mechie, but John Mechie is very similar to what they had in Anthony Miller versus Wan'Dale's very similar to what they have with Darnell Mooney. So John Mechie is going to have a really good impact on this offense. I think as soon as they get another big X receiver, it's going to be perfectly fine. Number 74 with the good old Vikings on the board. Lewis Sign's still there, and I would heavily consider him. Linebacker wise, yeah, it's not great. Although Owen Papo is still on the board, and I think I kind of want to give him a little bit of respect. He's going to go in the Eric Wilson role, and I think that's where we're going to rock. Owen Papo here out of Auburn. I'm just a big fan of him. Number 75 with Washington. Man, I think we're going to go offensive line here, just continue developing it. And Ricky Stromberg is, I mean, you look at it's Arkansas. Arkansas actually has a pretty damn good offensive line anyways, but I've seen their interior, and their interior is ridiculous. Like when I watch them play, they have insane push. It's a great developmental interior offensive lineman, Ricky Stromberg. Number 76 with the good old Seahawks. Yeah, there's a couple ways that we can go. We can go edge. There's also offensive line here. To be fair, I probably should have went there Mumford over Ricky Stromberg. Kind of forgot he was on the board in all fairness. But I mean, that's exactly what happens in the NFL. Although Ricky Stromberg deserves to be in the conversation with Thayer Mumford, just solely because Thayer's a lot older. And this is a team that's looking for a developmental guy, which Ricky isn't as developmental, but again, he's younger, more potential. Regardless, I think this is a good spot to trade back. It's a standard Seahawks move. There's a lot of edges left on the board. And there's also teams that are looking for either a left tackle or a guard. So trying to see teams like the Colts, who don't have a left tackle, who are sitting pretty damn close, or willing to pay a nice little penny to move up with the Seahawks to select somebody who can play left tackle, or he can play guard. Granted, I mean, I'm pretty sure Glowinski isn't doing too hot anyways. So trade a really late seventh to the Seahawks that could, they usually actually hit on those later round picks. And they're going to be selecting Thayer Mumford here. I think it's a great selection. It's solid. He could play left tackle. He played very well. It's just he's playing guard, but it's a lot better than what you have. So big fan of that pick with the good old Jags. Jags back on the board. Tight end's already taken up. Safety with Lewis Sign's actually a perfect spot. This is where he goes. Lewis Sign out of Georgia, strong safety. Just, I think he fits perfectly what I do. Jaquan Brisker is usually where I like to go, but Lewis Sign here in the third ain't too shabby. Him and Andre Cisco would be a really good addition, a really good team for the future, really good pair. 78 back with the Seahawks. This is where we're going to go another corner here. And I'm going to go actually after, I'm going to see who I actually want to select here, because it's not as easy. I was about to just select Jermaine Waller out of the blue, but he is pretty light. I mean, these corners are all actually pretty thin. Alontae Taylor is pretty good. So it's not terrible to go with him. You know, we could go with Caleb Evans here. Honestly, that is what I'm going to do. I like getting bigger corners for, to be fair, Shaquille Griffin wasn't that huge. We're going to go Jermaine Waller here. We're going to go with the best corner available on the board. Not the Seahawks move usually, but it's the one that we're going to go with. We're going to trust that the Seahawks do the right thing. With the Browns just don't need much. They really don't. I would still look at edge here and see somebody who has just crazy athleticism, but I like the addition of a guy who can be an impact player, Arnold Ebiketie, to this team. I've put him here a couple times throughout the mock drafts, and we're going to be going with it again. Very, very solid edge out of Penn State. Number 80 with the Kansas City Chiefs. This could be a good spot to be able to continue helping the defense, but we all know they won't do that. Helping the offense probably is something that they should do. And I think I just have a weird feeling they're going to go deep threat here. Romeo Doubs out of Nevada. Just he's a really, really high-end player, able to separate, and he's able to ball track deep. That's exactly what this Chiefs offense needs to continue doing. They need to re-spark that drive in this offense, and that's the right way to do it. By the way, Wan'Dale Robinson is like an early to mid-second for me. If you guys think I'm hating on him, I'm not. I'm just trying to find a team that really wants him. I mean, granted, the one team that would want him desperately is right here, and they already took a corner. It's fair. Number 81 with the Broncos, I could see them trading back with the team that wants a guy like Wan'Dale Robinson. You can even see the team like the Steelers looking to get Wan'Dale if they want to put Deontay Johnson on the outside. However, they're not going to do that. We're going to have the Texans move up. I don't even care. I kind of forgot if the Texans drafted a wide receiver. I don't think it matters because, again, I just don't think that the Texans receiving core is good enough, and Wan'Dale is way too good to draft. So they have not drafted one anyway. So whoop-de-doo. We got a high-end wide receiver right here that I like to get in the second round to the Texans. Wan'Dale Robinson out of Kentucky. He's just too good. He's really, really talented. I don't know why Zay Flowers is in this conversation. Regardless, 82 with the good old Bengals. I could definitely see us looking at either safety or center here. We could look at defensive line as well. Perrion Winfrey's on the board, really good pass rush specialist. I would target the interior with this one. I'm just trying to see, like, I know these guys are guards. Guards aren't our priority. Center is my priority. I don't think Alec Lindstrom's worth this one. So I'm actually going to go away from that. Perrion Winfrey's scared enough teams to this point, but he still is a really high-end pass rushing threat out of Oklahoma. I like his ability to just pass rush as well as just get to be able to ball track as well. Not ball track, pursue. I like his pursuit angles. He has a very good impact, especially in the pass game, which this is a passing league. So granted, if he wasn't having issues in the run game, he'd be a lot higher than this. So you never know. If he gets his head and ass wired together, you can be getting a big steal right there. 83, back with the Bengals. We're back. I might be moving back with a team that wants to move up for a running back because I know this team doesn't. And Zach Charbonnet is on the board and he needs to go. Now I'm looking at a team like the Bills that could be making a move for a splash play. You know, we still have some really high-end running backs like Zach. I know that, you know, Adias Smith's on the board, but I'm not going to draft him here. James Cook's a really good receiving back. I can see the Buccaneers trying to select him. But at this point, I think the right move might be with the Bills. Trying to see if an NFC team wants to move and select him. I'm not just like the only team I could see is maybe the Cards because they've been very successful with it. Yeah, we're going to be moving back with the Bills. The Bills are going to be moving a small bit up with the Bengals, selecting my boy from high school, Zach Charbonnet. Love my boy, Zach. Yeah, he's an all-around threat. He's a really good guy for a RBBCA role. I think it's a great fit. You know, if people were talking about Najee Harris, that makes no sense. Zach is an actual ground and pound dude. You have some very, very good running backs that are scat type and one cut. Zach is very much of that all-around heavy hitter right up the middle. I love his athleticism. He's able to do everything that you can ever ask for. Athletically, he is so gifted. Zach Charbonnet here in the third is an absolute steal. 84 with the good old Patriots. This honestly, I could see Haskell Garrett going here. I really can. We could also see a running back go here. That would be interesting because I'm thinking about it. And to be fair, their scat back, apart from James White, isn't really like JJ Taylor's there. I mean, if you can get a guy like James Cook on this squad, that would be absolutely ridiculous. Granted, last time they drafted a Georgia running back, didn't go too well. You know what? I'm still going to look in this edge room because there are just so many targets. I think Travon Walker's returning. That's why I'm not drafting him. Although I do believe Nolan Smith might come out. And that might be somebody that they like, even though 250 seems to be more of a correct weight for someone that they would draft. It's a tough one. Honestly, this is a tough spot. I'm actually going to draft James Cook here. I think that Bill Belichick doesn't want Tom Brady to get another James White, so they take him themselves. With the Steelers, I mean, hell, I would have moved up with the Steelers if I knew Thayer Mumford were still on the board. Regardless, this is going to be either a wide receiver, which I love getting Romeo Doubs to this team, or a corner. Nehemiah Pritchett and Caleb Evans actually do kind of seem like they could fit with this roster. You know, Jalen Tolbert wouldn't be a terrible idea. He wouldn't be. So he actually has been dealing with a pretty shitty quarterback. And oh man, that is a tough one because I really want to select him here. It wouldn't be a terrible idea. Zach Nelson, I'm saying, is returning. We could see a tackle here. I just don't see any actual true right tackles being very talented at this point. Linebacker wise, I don't think it's a weird spot. I have these two guys returning to school as well as this one. So we've kind of like shrunk the board down a little bit. We're going to go Jalen Tolbert out of South Alabama. It seems like a Steeler thing to do. You need a big wide receiver. This is the right spot for it. Cornerback isn't really that great. So take them and see how it is. But this is a team that can make the most out of the cornerback realm. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Nehemiah Pritchett out of Auburn, becoming a true boundary corner for the Broncos. Number 87 with the Raiders. Another team that could use a corner. I feel like Sevyn Banks could be a really big hit here, especially with this team. I feel like that's something they would definitely target. So we're going to do it. Sevyn Banks out of Ohio State. They just got rid of Ohio State corner, but they do like what they see there. He wasn't released because of talent. He was released because he started threatening a dude with a gun. So, you know, you have your reasons. 88 with the Cowboys, a team that seems unstoppable. I would definitely look. I mean, if Josh Wiley comes out, I think that this would be the right spot for him. Great spot to develop behind some good tight ends and be able to offer another really big threat. He's very good. Like I love Josh Whyle. He's still arguably my tight end one, just not getting enough snaps. He's just, I can't see a wide receiver here. We could look at the corner realm. You know, you do have a Caleb Evans on the board. He has a larger corner, and adding some extra corner depth is never a bad thing. Honestly, let's roll with it. Let's roll with Josh Whyle. I know you guys don't like it, but I think that having him on the roster is a huge bonus. You can use him out wide as well. Very, very good tight end out of Cincinnati. I love him. He's a dominant threat in the red zone too. Especially, I think he put on some weight. He's not 235 anymore. He looks about 245, and he still moves very well. He's been putting up a couple touchdown games here and there. Bengals back on the board. Did we already get? Okay, no, they traded back. So I was like, hold on a second. Like, we're drafting again with these guys. I know you guys are getting pampered, but at this point, getting another linebacker wouldn't be a terrible idea. Corner, I think honestly, we should get another corner. I think that going after a guy like a Caleb Evans wouldn't be too shabby. I think that it could be a Bengals move. I mean, you look at the stats. That's why I really like him. Is 6'2", 200 pounds, and he can cover very well. But Riley Moss is on the board. We're selecting my boy Riley Moss here out of Iowa. I think he does fall just because, you know, he just doesn't look like he's basically a very flashy player, even though he gets all the picks and stuff. I just don't think that there's going to be that much NFL hype on him. Regardless, this is exactly where he falls, and I think he's an absolute stud. So cheers to the Bengals for getting a stud. Number 90 with the good old Chargers. So Chargers, I could honestly, if Zach were still on the board, I could see him going here, but they don't. Haskell Garrett is perfect for replacing a guy. Buggin, what's his name? The Notre Dame kid, Jerry Tillery. So Haskell Garrett is pretty much step for step what he is, and even better. I like that quite a bit. How heavy is Devontae Wyatt? Honestly, this is exactly where he's going. Devontae Wyatt goes right to the Buccaneers, getting a little bit of a run on interior defensive line here. Number 92 with the Broncos again. They're back. Where did Lewis Sign go? Oh, that's a good fit. I like that pick. But this pick, I think we can trade out, get some next year draft capital as well. We still have really good running backs on the board for one, but we also have very high-end edges, a good offensive lineman. Granted, we could go offensive line here too, but I'm looking for a team that might be looking for a tackle or a guard. Obviously, I could see the Titans looking at one. I know we have some Titans fans saying you need to stop sending linebackers to us. I don't think I really like. For one, no disrespect, I don't really care. Like, if it gets boring, I mean, that's the thing. I think it's an amazing fit, but we definitely could be looking in that realm for a tackle at this point. With Rasheed Walker on the board, I think you go for the development trait. We're going to move up with the Titans and the Broncos, and we're going to select them. So we're going to be looking for next year draft capital. So that next year 6 looks mighty fine. And we're going to be sending we'll do the 3 and the 6 to move up to be able to select a nice left tackle. Zion Nelson is returning in Rasheed Walker. I mean, the guy is going to get some NFL hype. He's very athletic. Number 93 with the Bills. Offensive line is still an issue for y'all. I know we addressed that a little bit with Zion Johnson, if I'm not mistaken. We could definitely still look in that realm. I would still be willing to say that I would go more than one offensive lineman in this draft. That being said, I think we could also look at some other dudes in here. You know, you got Khalil Shakir. You could look into the tight end room. I just don't think there's much there. Again, Jaleel Billingsley not coming out. So Peyton Hendershot's the next dude who I would consider. But this is really tough, guys. I just don't really see much for the Bills right here. Legitimately, I mean, Tyler Davis, we can add him to the inside, get a little bit beefier in there at 300 pounds. And besides that, I don't really see much here. So I think this could be a good spot to trade out because we just traded up with them. So we could get some extra draft capital by trading back. Looking for a team that could be looking for a scat back here. Just seeing if there are any teams in the very close vicinity that could be wanting one. You know, I'm not really seeing one. I'm really not. None of these teams that are on the board actually look like they need one. I want to see if the good old Texans have gotten a running back yet. I don't think they have, and they do kind of need one. So we're going to be moving up with the Texans. They're going to be a little bit aggressive this draft and be able to select a higher end prospect. We're going to give next year's picks just because look at them. They're insane. We're going to be giving two. That is crazy. Like a 5 and a next year 6 to be able to move up. That is ridiculous. That's an absolute bullshit trade. We'll offer that 4 and 5. I think that's more than fair to move up to select a running back here. And whether that's going to be Eric Gray, I'm not 100% sure yet, but you can draft whatever you want. I like Eric Gray a lot. We could go Isaiah Spiller here. He's more of a contact balance back. I'm going to go with Eric Gray. He's shown to be a very, very good contact balance back with some extreme burst. And that's something I like a lot. And it's very similar to what this team is looking for in running back. Eric Gray out of Oklahoma. Next with the Green Bay Packers. I can see them going after a tackle here that is more developmental. I can go and see him going after Kellen Dyche or Abina Eze, whichever one you guys want. Because honestly, potato. I like Abina Eze's size. So they're going to be drafting him as a developmental tackle to move to the right side. There you go. Number 95 with the Broncos back on the board. Oof, you guys are back. I think this is where we look at another linebacker. I think going after more of a coverage guy could be the right move. We got a great blitzer and we got a great run stuffer. I think now would be a really good time to go after someone who could pass pro. And DeMarvion Overshown's a weird hybrid linebacker safety. I think that's a really good spot. This is a good spot for him. This defense will know exactly how to use him. You guys are looking for a true strong safety, so who knows? Maybe he can fit DeMarvion Overshown. It's a 3rd round pick. See how he and Baron Browning do rocking that out. 96 with the Cards. I would be definitely looking heavily at a guy like Isaiah Spiller at this point. Young, nice contact balance back. You know, he is probably what you'd be looking for. Britton Brown, I don't know. I just see that Isaiah Spiller is a bit better. So we're going to select him. It's the end of the 3rd round. Take him and enjoy him. 97 with the Steelers back on the board. This is where we're going to see a guy in a Caleb Evans go out of Missouri, be able to become our new corner 2. Number 98 with the good old Leones. I think this is another good spot to say, hey, we're going to take a shot on a corner. And that corner is going to be Storm Duck out of North Carolina. Young developmental corner with a lot of upside. And with 99, the Panthers are back. Panthers are back, and we are going to be having to go offensive line here. Kellen Dyche, day 1 impact out of Arizona State. Really, really lucky that we got that right there because a team right behind him in the Rams could definitely use him. Again, Zion Nelson returning. At 100 with the Rams, I think that going interior offensive line might be the best move for him. You could look at linebacker for sure. You know, there's just not. I mean, I could see Micah McFadden being a really good addition to this team. To be fair, we're going to do that. I like Micah McFadden a lot, so we're going to take him here. I just don't think the Rams linebacking group is that great, so we're going to select him and enjoy him. Number 101 with the Ravens. Ravens, I could definitely see us going after somebody on the defensive side. We've already went offense, but, you know, if Jalen Tolbert were here, we could talk about him. I just don't see it. So edge, interior defensive line, I think Tyler Davis could be really nice from the interior. I do. That being said, there's so much better value on the edge. You know, Zachary Carter, for fuck's sake, is 285, right? Like, he's a big ass dude. Sam Williams actually is really good. Somebody who I can see going up pretty high. And somebody who I see going here, Sam Williams out of Ole Miss, a much bigger dude, similar build to what you'd see from Matt Judon. Very explosive off the line. So we'll see how he does there in Baltimore. 102 with the good old Saints. I could see them going after a corner as well. You know, there are still some very high-end running backs and stuff on the board, so trade-ups could be definitely possible. But at this point, I don't really see it. We're going to see a guy in Stephen Gilmore go this high. Much smaller corner out of Marshall, but I do think that the name will ring some bells. I think that's going to be, that's a pretty fun way to end off too. But that's going to ring some bells and it's going to drive some demand into Stephen Gilmore out of Marshall. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next week. Peace.